Hi, I have three questions for you. Do you feel taken advantage of in your relationships, or at least your key or critical relationships? Do you feel that people you support do not pay any heed to what you need? Do you feel that you are communicating something to people that makes them behave the way they do? Well, these three questions are some of the critical questions many of us keep asking ourselves. At least I have asked these questions to myself early in my career. And the truth of the matter is that the nature of our relationships actually influences the nature and quality of our communication. Now, some of you may have heard of the term assertiveness or the need to communicate assertively. Now, what is the meaning of assertiveness? It simply says standing up for your rights, standing up for what you need, but at the same time, not trampling on the needs of others. Assertiveness is not aggressiveness. Aggressiveness means I really don't care about what you want, but this is what I want and I shall have it. Similarly, assertiveness is not submissiveness. Submissiveness says I want to be a nice person, I want to create harmony, I don't want conflict, and therefore, whatever you need is something I will do regardless of what I need. Now, wouldn't that be unfair? But it is possible that in life we tend to swing between these two options, very rarely staying for enough time in the center, which is assertiveness, which is to be able to stand up for what I need, but at the same time acknowledge and respect what you need. So, maybe in order to manage relationships that are assertive and therefore communicate assertively in the relationship, it is necessary to make assertiveness a way of life. It can't be a once in a way thing. It shouldn't be that only when I need to be assertive, I will be assertive. Because it may not work at that point of time. Your history in the relationship will guide and influence how other people treat you. So, what do we mean by saying manage a level of assertiveness as a way of life? To begin with, it means to communicate your intentions, communicate the attention of people to your intentions. They should be pretty clear to others that you want to play fair, that you are willing to play fair, and you want it to be fair for both parties, you and the other person. Which means that in the process of playing fair, you must be willing to bargain a bit, to negotiate, to be able to work out what's best for both sides in the interest of working towards something that works for everyone as much as possible. Of course, you can't get this all the time. Not all the time does it work in everyone's favor. There are times and circumstances when you must be maybe a little more assertive, even perhaps verging on aggressive. Now, nobody says that you shouldn't be aggressive or shouldn't be submissive. There could be times when those are needed, but they should be not most of the time. They should be only when circumstances are such that you cannot do anything else but be aggressive to get your way and put things down. Maybe you're the expert, maybe it's an emergency, maybe it has to be done quickly. Or maybe you need to be subversive because maybe you're not in the right, maybe you don't know enough, or maybe this is not the time and place to start having a long debate where you're more likely to lose and therefore not live another day to be able to prove things or get things done. So, most of the time, we really need to look at how we can manage assertive communication by being assertive as a way of life. So, what do we need to do, therefore, on an everyday basis? We would probably need to, number one, know what we need and announce it along with our attentions to the intention of the other person and our own intention. Now, that's quite a tongue twister, isn't it? So that both attention and intention of each other gets focused on what's fair and how that can be worked out. And while it may not work out every time or even the first few times, once you practice it often enough, and once people know that you don't mean harm and that your intentions are above board, then they will get used to dealing with you in the way you wish them to deal with you. So, not everything can work out, but most of the things can work out if you are able to practice assertiveness in your relationships so that your relationships also are fair and just and equitable for each other to be part of that relationship. Nobody wants a relationship where only in points of time we decide to work on it, when we need something, or when we are really in a jam or a spot and we need that relationship to come and rescue us, because people may not be willing to do that or may take advantage of us. So the next time you meet your boss, you meet your spouse, you deal with your children, or you even see your friends, ask yourself, what are you investing in that relationship to make it assertive? How much do people know about what you want? And how much do you know about what others want? And what are you doing about it? If others are not giving you enough about what you want, maybe they don't know. It's not perhaps that they don't care. It's just probably that they don't know. So why don't you try and announce it? But remember, your intentions must precede your actions. Because when your intention arrives, people pick that up first. And based on how they perceive your intention, would they then focus their attention to how they need to act on what intention they assume or perceive or seem to feel you have. In a relationship, it's important that perceptions are cleared as quickly as possible, because if you coast along on perceptions that are unclear or imagined or assumed, the chances are that you may not really get what you deserve in the relationship. And maybe you are not giving enough too. So, next time we meet, maybe we can talk a little more about how to make assertive communication part of an assertive relationship. I hope you get enough chances to practice that in the meanwhile. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.